Jiangsu Province in eastern China is one of the most important areas in the country when it comes to both agriculture and industry. Its cities are filled with factories and businesses, and the land produces large amounts of crops. Because of this, the province uses a huge amount of electricity every day. But as the world starts to feel the effects of climate change more and more, Jiangsu is also feeling the pressure to reduce its dependence on fossil fuels like coal and oil. To help solve this problem, a major new energy project called the Xizang Pump Storage Power Station is being built. This project uses advanced technology and the natural shape of the land to store and produce electricity. It's part of China's push to use cleaner energy sources and to move away from polluting fuels. Jiangsu's growing economy and large population have led to very high energy use. Cities like Nanjing and Wuxi are heavily populated and full of industries, which means the demand for electricity is always increasing. Traditionally, most of this energy has come from coal, oil, and natural gas. But these energy sources pollute the environment and contribute to climate change. Because of this, the province needs cleaner, more reliable energy solutions. The Xizang Pump Storage Power Station is designed to help by offering a way to store electricity when there's more than needed and to release it when there's a shortage. This could help balance energy supply and demand in the province, especially as it continues to develop quickly. In the past few years, China has started adding more renewable energy to its grid, such as wind and solar power. However, these sources aren't always consistent. Sometimes they produce too much electricity, and other times not enough. That's why energy storage is important. The Xizang project offers a solution by acting like a large rechargeable battery. When there's extra electricity, like during the night or when the wind is strong, the system uses it to pump water to a higher reservoir. Then, when the demand for electricity increases, the water is released to flow downhill, turning turbines and generating power. This helps ensure that people and businesses always have the electricity they need, even when renewable sources aren't producing energy. Jiangsu is also facing challenges because of its geography and changing climate. The province is relatively flat and has been experiencing more extreme weather, such as storms, floods, and droughts. These conditions make it harder to keep the energy supply stable. The Xizang Pump Storage Power Station is especially useful in this situation because it can respond quickly to changes in energy demand. It can provide extra power during a sudden heat wave or when factories suddenly need more electricity. The system is designed to be flexible and to help protect the province's energy grid from being overwhelmed. The need for energy in Jiangsu is not just about industry. The people living in the province also use a lot of power for their homes, offices, and transportation. As more people move to cities and urban areas grow larger, the pressure on the power grid increases. If there's not enough electricity, it could lead to blackouts or slow down economic growth. That's why the Xizang Pump Storage Power Station is seen as such an important project. It not only stores energy but also makes the whole energy system more stable and reliable. Another important benefit of this project is that it helps reduce the province's dependence on fossil fuels. Even though coal and oil are still widely used in Jiangsu, the pump storage station supports the use of cleaner energy by making it easier to store and use energy from wind and solar sources. When energy can be stored and used later, it reduces the need to burn coal during peak hours. This helps lower pollution and makes the province's energy mix more environmentally friendly. It also supports China's goal of reaching carbon neutrality in the coming decades. The Xizang Pump Storage Power Station itself is an impressive achievement in engineering. It includes 2 large reservoirs, one at a higher elevation and one lower down. They work together to store and release water, which generates electricity. The station has powerful turbines that can produce up to 1,350 megawatts of power, which is enough to supply electricity to hundreds of thousands of households every year. Each turbine produces about 225 megawatts, and they are among the most advanced of their kind. But building this kind of system wasn't easy. Engineers had to overcome many challenges, especially since the land wasn't very stable in some areas. To build the power station, engineers had to dig deep into the ground and study the rocks and soil very carefully. They used modern tools like borehole cameras and underground scanning systems to detect possible dangers, such as sinkholes or weak rock. In some areas, they had to reinforce the mountain by installing special support cables and rods. These steps were necessary to make sure the system would remain safe and functional for many years. Even though the project cost about $1.3 billion, it's seen as a smart investment because of the benefits it will bring in the long term. In addition to all the engineering work, the construction team also tried to protect the environment as much as possible. They reused almost all the rock and soil that were dug up during construction. They also made efforts to protect the plants and animals living in the area. Special digital tools were used to keep track of every part of the building process and to make sure there were no mistakes. All of this shows how modern technology can be used not only to build massive structures but also to reduce environmental damage. Pumped storage hydroelectric power, like the Xizang system, has been around for a long time. It's a simple concept that works very well. Store water at a high place and let it fall when you need electricity. This kind of system is especially useful today because it can help manage the ups and downs of renewable energy. Wind and solar power don't always produce the same amount of energy every day, but pumped storage can help fill in the gaps. It also reacts quickly, faster than most traditional power plants, making it a perfect fit for today's fast-moving energy needs. One of the biggest advantages of pumped storage is its ability to store energy during times when not much is being used and to release it when demand is high. For example, at night, when electricity use is low but wind turbines are still spinning, the system can store all that extra energy. Then, during the day when people turn on lights, air conditioners, and machines, the stored energy can be used. This helps keep the energy supply and demand in balance, preventing waste and reducing the chance of blackouts. The success of the Xizang project could serve as a model for other places in China and around the world. As more countries shift toward renewable energy, they'll need ways to store energy and keep their power grid stable. Pumped storage is one of the best options available for this. With the ability to last for decades and require relatively low maintenance, these systems offer a strong alternative to batteries, which can wear out over time and create environmental problems of their own. China's long-term energy goals include reducing carbon emissions and becoming more environmentally friendly. Projects like the Xizang Pumped Storage Power Station will help make that possible. By generating 1.35 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity each year, the station can power around 360,000 households. It also helps reduce harmful emissions and cuts down on the use of coal. The station supports the broader effort to combine renewable energy sources with advanced storage technologies to create a clean, stable, and reliable energy supply. Looking ahead, China faces the challenge of building enough of these energy storage systems to meet its future needs. The question is whether projects like Xizang can be copied in other regions, not just in China but globally. If they can, then pumped storage could become a key part of the world's energy future, helping to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and supporting the shift toward a cleaner, greener planet. Whether or not even more advanced technologies will replace pumped storage in the future remains to be seen, but for now, it stands as one of the most promising solutions for large-scale, sustainable energy storage. This project not only helps reduce harmful emissions but also makes the air cleaner in cities, playing a big role in fighting pollution caused by climate change. By using cleaner and greener energy, the station is making sure that future generations will have a healthier planet to live on without the serious damage caused by relying too much on fossil fuels. The station also helps deal with a growing number of extreme weather events, which are becoming more common because of climate change. As rainfall patterns change and storms get stronger, the Xizang Pumped Storage Power Station helps keep the power grid steady. It provides the strong and flexible energy supply needed to keep cities running even during unpredictable weather. This makes the station a very important part of preparing for climate change and reducing the chances of power failures or blackouts that can happen more often during these intense weather events. Outside of China, the success of the Xizang station could be a model for other countries facing similar energy problems. It shows how nations can switch to cleaner energy sources while managing complicated power networks or heavy dependence on fossil fuels. The ability to store and use renewable energy effectively could help make wind, solar, and other green energy sources more reliable. As pumped storage technology continues to grow and improve, it might become an affordable and easy-to-use way for many countries to cut back on fossil fuel use. This wouldn't just help slow down climate change but also support the goals of the Paris Agreement, which include keeping global warming under control and moving towards sustainable energy around the world. In global efforts to reduce carbon emissions, the Xizang Pumped Storage Power Station stands out as a strong tool in the fight against climate change. If this kind of technology keeps improving and more countries start using it, it could help the world shift to using renewable energy on a much larger scale. So, the big question is whether pumped storage systems like Xizang will shape the future of energy storage, or if new technologies will soon change the way we think about storing and using energy sustainably. One of the reasons for the success of the Xizang pumped storage power station is its advanced and modern design, which makes it different from older energy systems. The station is built using the latest engineering techniques and equipment that focus on saving energy and protecting the environment. It uses 6 single-stage vertical pump turbine units, each capable of producing 225 megawatts. These turbines are specially designed to work at high capacity while wasting as little energy as possible. They use a mixed flow system, which is very efficient and can handle different water flow speeds, ensuring steady performance no matter the situation. What makes this technology especially important is that it works very well with China's renewable energy sources like wind and solar. Since wind and solar power can vary during the day, the pumped storage station plays a key role in keeping energy supply and demand balanced. When energy demand is low, the station pumps water to a higher place and stores energy. Then, during peak times when more power is needed, the stored water is released to produce electricity. This kind of flexibility is very helpful for keeping the power grid stable, especially as renewable energy becomes more common. This smart way of storing energy is a big step forward in managing modern power systems. But the innovation doesn't stop with just the turbines and water storage. The building process of the station also used high-tech tools. Advanced methods like borehole imaging and seismic CT scanning were used to make sure the construction site had no hidden dangers. Plus, nearly all the materials dug out during construction were reused for the reservoir, showing that the project was also focused on being environmentally friendly and saving resources. It wasn't just about building something big, but about doing it in a way that caused the least harm to nature. As technology keeps moving forward, there are already plans to make future pumped storage systems even better. Ideas include using artificial intelligence and machine learning to improve how water flows are controlled, to predict when energy will be needed most, and to help the station run more efficiently without needing constant human input. These improvements could make the Xizang station and others like it even more effective at meeting energy needs in real time. As China keeps leading the way in energy storage innovation, other countries are watching to see how these breakthroughs might shape the future of power production. As energy storage technology keeps advancing, the next generation of pumped storage power stations could be even more efficient than Xizang. If that happens, it could greatly change how energy grids work all over the world, making them more reliable and more eco-friendly. China's push for renewable energy, especially through pumped storage, shows the country's strong efforts to move away from fossil fuels and toward cleaner power. China has set big goals for expanding its renewable energy capacity, including plans to reach 120 gigawatts of hydroelectric power by the year 2030. Projects like the Xizang pumped storage power station and the Fangning hydro power station are important parts of this plan. These projects are not just meant to supply power for China's large and growing population, but also to reduce the environmental damage caused by traditional ways of generating electricity. Along with helping keep the power grid steady, these projects are also meant to reduce the country's use of coal and natural gas. While China still depends heavily on coal, it is clearly making strong efforts to use a more balanced mix of energy sources. Building more pumped storage stations and expanding wind and solar power are all important steps in helping China reach its target of becoming carbon neutral by 2060. The Xizang pumped storage power station is expected to be a major part of this change by offering cleaner, more dependable energy and helping to lower the country's overall carbon emissions. However, making this big change won't be easy. Even though China is making fast progress in building renewable energy projects, the energy sector still faces big challenges, such as technology limitations, funding issues, and the need for better government policies. One of the biggest problems is trying to keep up with the growing demand for energy while still protecting the environment. As China's economy grows, more energy is needed, which puts pressure on the power grid. Pumped storage systems like Xizang will help, but more work is needed to connect these systems with new technologies like smart grids and batteries, so that a truly sustainable and strong energy system can be created. Looking ahead, if China is successful with these large-scale pumped storage projects, other countries could learn from them. If the same kind of technology can be built in other parts of the world with good renewable energy resources, it could help cut down the global use of fossil fuels. Countries in Europe, North America, and growing economies could all benefit from using similar energy storage systems. As the world works to reach climate goals and reduce carbon emissions, projects like the Xizang pumped storage power station could help move the planet faster toward clean energy. With China continuing to build more renewable energy projects, the world might see places like Xizang as examples of how to move away from fossil fuels. This kind of technology could be a key part of the solution to climate change. The Xizang pumped storage power station is not just a great achievement in engineering, it also plays a huge role in China's goal of creating a cleaner and more sustainable future. Thanks to its smart design and advanced technology, the station helps solve major problems related to energy demand, climate change, and the need to stop using fossil fuels. It shows how pumped storage can help balance renewable energy and make sure power is always available, even as China moves toward cleaner energy sources. But this station is more than just a power plant. It's a symbol of China's promise to change how it produces energy and lead the way toward a future where renewable energy is the main source of power. As the world faces serious environmental issues, China's investments in clean energy projects show how big efforts can speed up the move to a greener world. If other countries follow China's lead and build similar projects, there could be a major shift away from coal and oil and toward cleaner, more sustainable energy. So, what's your opinion? Do you think China's big push for pumped storage and renewable energy could help create a greener future? Could this kind of project be the answer for countries that want to cut down their carbon emissions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.